of the new year. Pat Driscoll, John Gaffney, Matt Potter, our officials. Just the third road game of the season for Louisville. And they control the opening tap. The aforementioned Chucky Hepburn getting us going here for the Cardinals. Hepburn, high post for James Scott. Sophomore, lays feet inside for the back-cutting Waterman, who finishes off the glass.
I love it. You run your offense to one side of the floor knowing that Virginia is going to flood in some of their pack lines defensive systems. You get down, get a guy cutting from the corner, and it helps when Noah Waterman's right at 7 feet tall, able to finish.
UVA starting 5 today, including Tane Murray, a late change. Day-Day Ames had been starting for the Cavaliers. He'll come off the bench today. A deep three, the shot clock winding down, just grazes the front of the rim. The attempt by Andrew Rohde, the starting 5 for the Cardinals, and their record of 9-5 on the season. Hepburn is the headliner. Noah Waterman, the first basket of the game, also had the game-winning basket a week ago against Eastern Kentucky in a tight victory. Here's Hepburn, one dribble into the three-pointer. That comes up short, and Isaac McNeely, the rebound, and into the front court.
Three-point shots, they're going to present themselves whenever you play against Virginia. You have to have good shooting nights, and it's going to have to be over high hands. Quick foul call, Terrence Edwards. You got to jump to the basketball. Can't let that guy get around.
McNeely had a step going to the basket. Edwards called for the foul. Just underway here, a little more than a minute gone by in Charlottesville. Kofi, the impressive-looking freshman out of Seattle, getting better and better as he has entered the starting lineup. McNeely, stop, fall back, and a smooth touch for Isaac McNeely.
A born scorer. Saw him for the first time. They better get back in transition. That cannot happen when you play against Louisville. They're really trying to push the pace and the tempo. Those things can't happen.
Hadley beating everyone down court. Second field goal for the Cardinals as they lead 4-2. Speaking of transition, that's certainly always a key in a game that Virginia is involved in.
Absolutely, and whenever that initial push, just like that previous possession happens, you have to get back in front and communicate if you're the Cavaliers, because Louisville's really going to try to speed up this game. And then on the opposite side, Louisville, in the half court, they've been able to generate quality looks throughout the course of the season. They haven't necessarily shot the ball all that well when the game slows down. So you're going to have to find ways to manufacture some offense when going up against the pack line defense.
Tane Murray's first free throw attempt is a good one. The foul was against Noah Waterman, his first. Murray making just his second start of the season, averaging over 10 a game in his last 3, and he ties it early at 4. So here's Hepburn coming off a big performance in a New Year's Day win over North Carolina. He had 26 points in that one for Louisville. Edwards trying to get free on the far side, backing his way in. Couple of pump fakes inside, but he comes up short. Scooped up by Rohde.
Great defense by McNeely, staying vertical and letting the help side come over and attempt to block the shot. Can't get off your feet when playing against Terrence Edwards. Loves to get to the foul line.
Here's Saunders, averaging over 18 over his last 4. McNeely would love to get free for a look. There it is, near the logo, spins out, and the rebound is taken by Hadley. Hepburn with some pace into the front court. Murray switches on to him. His pass is intercepted. Virginia forcing the turnover there. Here's Saunders trying to get free. Dangerous pass. Kofi now. McNeely, shot clock under 10 against Scott. Couple spin moves, switches to the left. That's off the mark. Good defense by Scott.
James Scott, terrific, versatile defender. Getting better and better on the offensive end. Really talented on that end of the floor, though. Block shots, switchable, can stay in front. It's helpful when you're about 6'10" and can move laterally.
Good-looking athlete. Good job by UVA. They're getting back in transition. Backdoor cut for Edwards. Gathers underneath, bottled up, and still finds a sliver off the window.
Now, where's the pass come from? James Scott. Well, the only thing he can't do right now in his career is shoot the basketball. You get past that, a lot of other valuable things he can do that helps with winning.
Play started with Scott on the defensive end. Nice pass from underneath into the corner, but Murray's line drive 3 is no good. Kofi, the offensive rebound. Virginia's missed 4 of its first 5. Now Rohde. Kofi puts it on the floor, switches to the left hand. Counted at 1 for Jacob Kofi.
Come on, that's just silly. 6'10", freshman from Washington, able to put it on the deck. You see why he has such a promising career in a Virginia uniform. Drive left, get around James Scott, little up and over with the left hand. Virginia Louisville just getting underway. This is going to be a good one.
A lot more relaxed.
And deservedly so. He looks younger right now. But Ron Sanchez, it's a different time right now. Whenever you're trying to piece rosters together via the transfer portal, it's not quite the same. So you're having to bend a little bit more as opposed to having the players bend to what you want them to do over the course of 4 years. So you're constantly adjusting, and that's something he spoke with us about earlier today. It's a little bit of a different vibe, and you have to coach a different way than what they've become accustomed to over the past 15 or so years that the staff had been here at Virginia.
Part of Tony Bennett's staff for several years, 2 different stints, in fact. Jacob Kofi's free throw has given Virginia its first lead of the game. Kofi to the bench. Blake Buchanan has checked in, and he commits his first foul of the game. And just off the bench, Reyne Smith rains one down from the corner to put Louisville back on top.
Reyne Smith's a bad man. He could get hot and hit 4 or 5 in a row on a given night. Did a game a couple of years ago at Charleston. Pat Kelsey said Reyne Smith is the greatest shooter on planet Earth. Now, a little bit prone to hyperbole, sure. I think I would give Kobe Brea that nod right now at Kentucky, especially the way he's playing lately. But Reyne Smith can get hot in a hurry. He's going to need a big game today if you're going to go against his pack line.
Waterman from nearly the same spot off the back of the rim. Offensive rebound, though, by the freshman Kenai Roots. Hepburn against Saunders. Cut off there, gets it back. Still 10 seconds to shoot. Now he's trying to drive on Rohde from the left side. Little spin move along the baseline and goes to the reverse.
Come on, that's just silly. And it was great defense to begin with by Rohde, staying in front, keeping his discipline. Chucky Hepburn just so shifty.
A little trouble getting it in bounds there. Murray has to come back to help out near midcourt. Some good pressure here being shown by Louisville as they lead by 4. 5.5 gone by here in Charlottesville. Buchanan, a sophomore out of Port Orleans, Idaho. Hands to Rohde. 2 defenders run at him, and there's that man again, Hepburn, coming up with the steal. In transition, down the lane, off the knee of Javon Hadley. It's out of bounds. It'll go back to UVA. Good defense there, getting back by the Cavaliers.
Yeah, terrific defense, and they had the numbers. Got a little bit lucky that he brought the basketball down around his waist. But on the other end of the floor, you have to protect the basketball when going up against Chucky Hepburn. But nice job, Andrew Rohde. Caught one in the forehead there as a result. But turn the basketball over, you got to get back in it as a group.
Second turnover committed by Louisville. Day-Day Ames has checked in. He's been in the starting lineup for most of the season, coming off the bench today. Here's Ames, the transfer from Kansas State. Ishan Sharma also in, a freshman out of Ontario. On the baseline, it's Saunders staying hot.
And that's what he's good at. You get him in the mid-post and he can angle his way there. Can't turn around though. You better get ready to play.
Turnover number 3. Ruth stepped on the sideline right in front of the UVA bench before he made his move.
But you see early in this game the contrasting styles, right? Virginia very methodical, willing to use the first 26 seconds of the clock. On the other side, you make a shot, you better get back and communicate. No home run tries against this Louisville team because they're willing to shoot in the first 3 to 4 seconds and maintain that aggressiveness throughout the clock.
2-point lead right now for Louisville. Ames trying to find a seam in the defense. Jump stop, and he kicks it back out for Sharma. Here's Saunders, guarded by Traore, who just checked in. Sharma tripped up. Hepburn trying to reach in and come up with another steal. Inadvertently tripped up Ishan Sharma.
Ishan Sharma, like, he's still figuring it out and how to be a productive college player. But this was a guy that, you see him drive down the middle. Hepburn reaching in and trips Sharma. Nothing intentional, but Sharma, big-time scorer for UPlay Canada, comes to Virginia, and now he's having to learn how to do winning things other than scoring. And that's something that was the biggest emphasis today, well, you're not scoring all the time now that you're at a new spot. How can you impact winning? And that goes for Sharma, and that also goes for TJ Power, the man who just made that swing pass, number 23.
Second-year man, transfer from Duke. Power on the floor for the first time. Started the season in the starting lineup for the first 5 games. Shot clock winding under 5. Ames has a look. In and out from the right wing. Another rebound for Scott. Here they're pushing again. Hepburn being pestered by Ames. Terrence Edwards Jr., one of their leading scorers on the season, quiet so far. Here's Hepburn trying to get a step. High arcer off the top of the backboard. Very high arcer. Good ball movement here. Sharma in the front court. And now UVA into its offense.
I think the collective discipline defensively so far by Louisville for the duration of the clock has been pretty good. The problem is you have to sustain that discipline for the entire game.
And you have to rebound.
That's exactly right. Finish possessions.
Ames again off the mark. Edwards clears the boards. UVA 0 for 6 from downtown. Here's Smith, who came on, hit his first from deep, hasn't had another look since. Edwards working against Rohde. Pump fake inside, uses his size advantage. That was halfway down.
Hasn't been a beautiful offensive game so far for either team, but I just continue to marvel every time I watch Virginia play how well they just stay in front of the basketball. They don't lunge out, they don't reach, they just focus on staying in front and staying on balance. If they make a tough shot like that one, you're willing to live with it. Andrew Rohde, pretty talented young man.
Off balance, a tough bucket heading into that timeout. Free throw coming, trying to give Virginia the lead once again. A transfer from St. Thomas, whose role has significantly changed here in Virginia since the beginning of his collegiate career.
And he had to be a little bit more patient last season, being a scorer when he transferred from St. Thomas in Minnesota. He was a Kyle Macy Freshman of the Year award finalist because he was able to score the basketball so well. Now, at Virginia, much different role. Asked to begin the offense for Coach Ron Sanchez, do a lot of different things for teammates. It's been an adjustment, but over the course of the beginning of this year, you've seen he's starting to get more comfortable. Now shooting almost 47% from 3 on top of initiating the offense. Is he turning it over? Sure, but he's also being asked to guide the ship, where at the beginning of the year, that wasn't necessarily going to be his role on this team.
Terrence Edwards forcing the issue there. Gets himself to the free throw line. First foul against Day Miles. Edwards' first one is pure, and here's next Saturday's ACC Network basketball triple header. Clemson hosts Florida State at Little John to start us off at 2 Eastern. Then North Carolina and NC State square off in Raleigh, and finally Virginia Tech takes on Cal. Should be a great afternoon and evening of hoops on ACC Network. Edwards splits the pair. Sharma, though, has the ball out of bounds off of his foot, so will stay with the Cardinals.
Tough mistake there for the young freshman. But now you look at Louisville having to inbound the ball in the corner of the floor. This is the hardest place to inbound the basketball, but at least when you're trying to find a scoring position, doesn't seem like that's going to be the case.
Smith trying to get free. Sharma doing a good job to close out on him. Traore along the baseline, went up and was sent back by Kofi, but he stays with it and finishes.
Traore coming back just a few games back now from a broken arm, but you saw the athleticism right there. Good contest, stays with it, gets the 2.
Kofi there to meet him at the rim.
I'm a big fan of Jacob Kofi and what he's going to be in the future. A lot of natural skill, big size, solid athlete, shoots a good ball.
Here he is trying to make things happen off the dribble, too strong off the glass. Rebound taken by Edwards. Louisville's done a great job on the board so far. There have been a lot of misses. There's Traore from the perimeter again, working against Power. They clear out for him. Power falls to the floor, and Traore finishes again.
Traore had the power there. Nice move. Faces up, attacks, finishes over the top, and you see what he's able to do. Long Beach State transfer, plays so hard and with so much force and physicality. Able to get a quick 4 points out of him.
12 of Louisville's 16 points coming in the paint so far. They've opened up a 5-point lead. The Louisville team for a lot of this season has played with a 7-man rotation. Traore has just returned. That has helped a lot as Sharma can't answer from deep. Kofi's put back, spins out. Traore takes it off the backboard, takes it all the way up court, tripped up inside the paint and took an extra step.
I would like to see that again and see where the extra step was, because I didn't think he traveled, quite frankly, but you're still seeing it. Virginia finding good shots, just not able to connect. Kofi missing a layup, wide open 3 for Sharma on the opposite side of the floor. And here's the thing, 2 freshmen, right? Against a Louisville team significantly older than them collectively. Got to be able to knock down shots. The game hasn't quite slowed down enough for them to see success consistently.
They're over 7 from deep. 44% of their threes were made over the last 2 games. Here's Saunders. They'd love to get him going. Some of those looks have been good ones, Terrence.
Yeah, they have. Baseline drive, baseline drift. Here's another one.
Quick release. Rohde 0 for 8. Another rebound for the Cardinals and Hadley. Here's Waterman along the baseline, run into by Sharma, who commits the foul, his first.
Here's the thing. Virginia's running good offense, setting good screens, getting good shots. It's the little things. So on that last play for Andrew Rohde, he gets open, but the pass isn't there on time. A little bit of a bobble, doesn't get his rhythm, and it seems like they're just half a step off in terms of either knocking down a shot or making that pass and put their guys in good position.
Those little things add up.
It certainly do. They certainly do.
When you don't score a lot, not a lot of margin for error either, I would imagine.
Exactly.
Knocked out of bounds. Good job defensively underneath by Buchanan.
You know, it's a unique challenge when you play against Pat Kelsey's Louisville team, because if you miss a shot and you're back on defense, they're not calling plays. So there's not necessarily a scouted situation for your defense. That's a nice set, too.
Waterman off the pump fake. 2 defenders go with him. Hadley on Saunders, flips it up, gets the nice roll, and it's a 7-point lead. They scored the last 7 points, have the Cardinals.
They just flow into the next best option, right? And that's what happens when you have so many older players. You don't have to hover over them and call sets every single time. The guys just understand how to play with each other. Nice fade.
That's the look that you want. McNeely from the corner stops the 7-0 run.
Take the lid off McNeely. I love the footwork. Excellent shot in the corner.
Hepburn working on Rohde. Defense there by Rohde to cut him off.
Great pass.
Slip pass into the high post, right back out. Smith with a hand in his face, short. Good box out by Saunders. Sloops ball scooped up. Right into it a little bit. It's amazing what 1 3-pointer can do. Here's Murray in the starting lineup today. Hadley's all the way up on Rohde. They're trying to get a look. Murray's pass was deflected out of bounds into the Louisville bench. It'll stay with the Cavaliers. They trail by 4, looking to get some offense generated in front of their home crowd. Isaac McNeely got free for that three-pointer a couple of moments ago. UVA 1 for 9 from downtown. They would love to get him going.
Yeah, and you'll see number 11 down at the bottom of your screen being guarded by Chucky Hepburn, who loves to steal. So we're going to pause it right there. He reads that Chucky Hepburn's trying to cut through the screen or play over the top. He slips over to the corner, and then watch the footwork as he turns his body. Feet set. Ball right in the numbers and fire away. Isaac McNeely finally takes the lid off for this Virginia team who struggled from the three-point line early.
When you could shoot like that, you do whatever you can for a look like that, don't you?
That's exactly right. And you have to continue moving when you're playing against a player like Chucky. Watch your head.
Off the inbounds, and Waterman was right there to break it up.
I mean, what a terrific defensive play by Waterman. Understood he was beat, didn't give up on the play. That's a big-time defensive effort.
Waterman, 6'11", out of upstate New York. Transfer from BYU and a host of other schools.
The well-traveled man. Nice pass.
Another lob pass inside. Scott gathers. Good ball movement here around the perimeter. Edwards lobs it inside, and there's James Scott.
Forget about it. That's what he does, right? Terrific lob threat, vertical spacer. James Scott starts it off with a nice baseline pass, ends up being rewarded for the unselfish play.
His 28th dunk of the season, 9th in the nation in that category. Here's Buchanan out of the post. Murray passed on what seemed like an open look. Now he's matched up with Waterman. Shot clock under 10. Rohde off the curl, flips it up. And Scott skies again for another rebound.
If I'm Coach Ron Sanchez, I know Virginia plays a certain pace. However, Tane Murray, you can't pass up good opportunities. That was an open shot. That ball needs to go up.
Scott, little pitch and catch here with Hepburn. Rolling to the basket again. Louisville's got the shot clock at 5, so Edwards wants to go to work on Murray, who blocks it out of bounds. Still 3.2 to shoot.
Terrific defensive possession by Murray. And you look at the lineup on the floor, this is the group that started without Jacob Kofi. You're a little bit bigger across the board, but you stay on his hip, stay vertical, nice block shot.
Reyne Smith back in. As Louisville looking to get a quick shot off here. Edwards to the bench. Hepburn will throw it in. 5.5 assists a game for Chucky Hepburn to lead the Cardinals.
Some extracurriculars happening right now.
Yep. John Gaffney trying to get things situated. Little help from Pat Driscoll. And we're ready to go. Smith trying to get free. They have to lob it inside to Scott. The quick touch pass. Hadley just added the shot clock. Got a good look.
That was terrific scout team defense off the baseline out of bounds. They knew Reyne Smith was trying to go to that opposite corner. Virginia all over it.
Pitch and catch here. McNeely hit his last one, trying to get free again along the baseline to a cutting Saunders. Nice floater from the paint.
And that's terrific two-man game on the opposite side, started by Blake Buchanan. Able to create just enough of a highway to get to the paint and create a little bit of something.
Again, it's Louisville hurrying it up court. Smith against the taller Buchanan, lobs it inside, and they're not going to count that. Was that going in?
We would have to take another look at it, but I was a little bit shocked at how quick it went through after James Scott slides over. You see James Scott stuck a little bit on an island. This was a nice pass slash shot slash I'm not quite sure. Yeah, the ball was going in.
I think that was going in.
I don't think intentionally.
Yeah,
so.
It was over the cylinder. Good call. It was a lob for Scott. Tough to lay off of those as he just finished one a moment ago, but the basket doesn't count, so Louisville's lead is 4.
And I referenced this earlier with Tane Murray and Virginia's offense. You have to take the first best shot available because Andrew Rohde, typically an off guard before he came here, very smart player, but they don't have this break you down off the bounce guy that they've had in recent years to create some open looks. You get a shot available, you need to take it.
Saunders trying to create here, takes a peek at the shot clock, little fall away from the paint, and Elijah Saunders out of Phoenix starting to heat up.
So talented, more explosive vertically than people give him credit for. Big fan of what Saunders is able to do.
Give him 6 points. Virginia back within 2. Smith doesn't need a lot of room. That time back rims it. Buchanan grabs the rebound off the carom.
See Reyne Smith, though. It goes off the flare screen, catches it, doesn't bring it down. You said it. Doesn't need a lot of space. he can get hot in a hurry.
He's dangerous. That one's deflected. Murray's attempt deflected on the perimeter. Louisville has numbers if they hurry. Hadley drives right at Rohde. Hepburn's three, rims out. Cardinals have missed their last 6. Virginia could tie or take the lead here with a three. Good move by Rohde to the basket, and we're tied at 20.
I love it. Use the defense's physicality against them. Nice move to the middle and spin back to the right. Rohde using his size to get up over the top.
Crowd into it. They're at JPJ Arena. To the basket. Ruth's tough shot, late whistle. He'll go to the line for 2.
And a good call.
7-point lead. A 9-2 run for the Cavaliers to tie it at 20.
Finally able to get some looks around the rim, because both teams right now are combined 2 of 17 from 3. It's kind of a crazy thing because you look at both rosters player for player and you would think these are 2 good shooting teams. McNeely can knock down shots. Murray's been known to knock down a shot or 2. Rohde, same thing. Then you look over at Louisville. Waterman, who's not on the floor now, was a good shooter last year at BYU. They just haven't really found their rhythm.
2 free throws good for the freshman out of Washington, D.C., Kenai Ruths. He goes to the bench. Aboubacar Traore, who has given Louisville a big lift off the bench in this first half. He's back in. Here's Rohde. Hepburn giving him some space. Jacob Kofi's been playing really well. Quiet so far here in the first half. McNeely's just trying to get free. His pass deflected by Smith. Here come the Cardinals. Traore, he's athletic to the basket against Kofi. Switches hands, no good. Nice transition defense by Kofi.
Yeah, terrific job getting back, hurrying to get in front and using your size. And I can't get over the strength of Kofi as a freshman. Traore is not a weak individual. No. He just bounced off of him.
It's very well put together. Comes up with another steal here. Here's Edwards from the wing. Kofi cuts him off again. Smith off the pump fake. Look at the feed inside for Traore.
And that's communication, right? You get in, you don't get the initial fast break opportunity. Sure, Louisville shows some patience, passes back out. Miscommunication on defense leads to an easy one. Virginia, if they set their defense so tough to guard, nice pass. He jumped over that man.
He waited him out, though, and was off balance. Shot no good. He did jump right over him. Drawing oohs and ahs from the crowd here. Traore's got 6 points off the bench in limited time in this first half. Smith, he likes that spot.
Forget about it. He got to bring it down a little bit more there. Chucky Hepburn on one hand jumping over the offense, and on the
points for Louisville out of the last timeout, answering a 9-2 Virginia run. Points have been at a premium, especially for the Cavaliers. McNeely from the logo cuts it to 4.
He never stops moving.
8 points for McNeely. Edwards trying for the quick answer, comes up short, out of bounds, back to UVA.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I hate that shot. That's tough, but McNeely, if you're defending him, you better never stop trailing. You go under a screen, forget about it. We saw it earlier with Chucky Hepburn going over top. You go underneath at the top of the court, you can forget it there too, and he's going 2 for $1. Terrific pass.
Up top, Murray had a really good look, straight on, couldn't connect. Here comes Smith. Hepburn one-on-one with Murray, cut off. Coming up on a minute and a half to play in the first half. Hepburn again around Murray, just grabs him from behind as Hepburn clearly had the step.
McNeely on one side of the floor is relentless in his moving without the basketball. If you're guarding Chucky Hepburn on the other end, you can never relax. He attacks, gets stopped, backs out, re-attacks. A ball of energy on both sides of the floor, and so difficult to defend.
82% free throw shooter tonight after the conclusion of our basketball triple-header. The Nothing But Net crew will get you caught up on the day around the ACC. Coverage is expected to start at 8 Eastern right here on ACCN and the ESPN app. Hepburn hits them both. A 6-point lead for Louisville. Each team with 5 fouls with 1.5 minutes to play until halftime. Dede Ames back in for Virginia. It's Rohde up top for Kofi. Saunders working hard down low. Traore bodying him on the block. McNeely starting to heat up. Shot clock under 5. Rohde's got to create. Tough shot from the foul line area.
Really tough shot. Nice job. We have some extra jawing. Elijah Saunders and Traore getting after it in the low post.
On both ends of the floor. Here's Scott, hands it back to Hepburn. Under 1 minute to play. Scott rolling to the basket. Traore is going to let fly from the wing, and he gets the friendly roll on the road, no less.
Hey, that's extra work in the gym. We call that a members bounce. That's what we call that. Hey, it's no surprise when Traore's in the game, Louisville has been significantly better. A menace on the defensive end of the floor. His activity is contagious. And then these two guys defensively, really a handful. Wow, this is phenomenal. And I'm not sure that was a foul. I disagree wholeheartedly. They're sitting right in front of us for that. Chucky Hepburn is cutting off every angle.
Relentless effort here by Chucky Hepburn.
I mean, poking at the ball, staying in front, never losing balance. I mean, this is... Dede Ames gave him the ball. That's not a foul. Terrific defensive possession, and that one hurts because he's the head of the snake to everything you do.
On both ends of the floor, he goes to the bench with 2 fouls. Next foul will put Virginia in the bonus, but we're under 15 seconds to play until halftime. Shot clock is off. Rohde gets a screen. McNeely trying to get free. Rohde all the way to the basket, got free, slipped through 2 defenders just ahead of the buzzer.
Slipper is Andrew Rohde.
McNeely does have the 2 3-pointers. Traore, 9 points in the first half. He had 5 in the entire season coming into today's game. Virginia ball to begin the second half, trailing by 5. Andrew Rohde had 8 points in the first half. Saunders had 6. See if they can get McNeely going a little bit more. Held that pivot foot, shot clock under 10. His pass is picked off, and then a foul after the play committed by Jacob Kofi.
I love James Scott's activity. And look, he's going to be a lob threat defensively, but he's got incredibly quick feet whenever he's playing post defense. He's pretty frail relative to some of the players he'll play in the front court in the ACC, but he's so quick and so active, he makes up for a lot of those things. 2 points, 4 boards, and 3 assists so far in this one.
6'11", 220 out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Just a sophomore. Edwards steps back a couple of times. Side rims it. Louisville, after a 9 for 16 start from the field, they're 3 for their last 12.
Tane Murray has been really physical on both ends of the floor. And Waterman able to take advantage, crashing the offensive glass. But you look at Terrence Edwards, who took that shot. I talked to Pat Kelsey about him before the season started. And he's one of those guys you have to let play a little bit. Like, you have to let him take a tough shot every now and then, because when nothing's going, he can get it going on his own because he's always in attack mode, so you're willing to live with some of the mistakes.
Appropriately scored basket for him there as you were describing his game, staying with it inside. This is the 3rd time this afternoon Louisville's had a 7-point lead, their largest of the game. McNeely looking for the high screen. He's got to get free. Slip pass inside. Kofi was bumped by Edwards. No, excuse me, by Waterman.
That's tough, but Louisville doing a nice job defensively, keeping the ball on one side of the floor. Whenever you play against Virginia, these elongated offense, they like to shift the defense, second and third side offense. They're having a hard time moving the help side if you're Virginia. Louisville doing a really nice job.
Here's off the curl again, McNeely. Shot clock under 10. Edwards working. McNeely steps back, finds some room in the corner, halfway down. Another rebound for Scott. Tough shot there for Isaac McNeely. On the other end, it's Hepburn all the way to his spot. muscles his way to the basket.
Giving up about 4 inches in height, Chucky Hepburn. Jump stop, ball fake, uses the ball fake to create space. Wasn't an offensive foul. Creates the easy look.
6 points for Chucky Hepburn, their leading scorer on the season.
I'll say this, they just ran that exact same play for Isaac McNeely because the ball pressure was so good by Javon Hadley, not able to find anything.
Here's wow, that was deep. Another logo three. He knocks it down. He's got 11 and pulls Virginia back within 6. But again, it's Louisville hurrying it up court in response to a UVA bucket.
Rumor has it that's Pat O'Keefe range.
You read the scouting report. Three-pointer, Hadley well off the mark, but there's Scott for another rebound inside. Edwards getting free, passes on the open look. Rolling to the basket, his pass is knocked away by McNeely. Here comes Murray, running the floor, Saunders up and in over Waterman.
How about that for athleticism? Was that Virginia playing early in the clock? Am I confused? What a finish.
Back to within 4. Waterman trying to answer. It's an air ball. Remember, UVA had a big second half in their win against NC State on New Year's Eve. Here's Rohde, slip pass, Kofi, spin move on the block, spins back the other way, switches to the left hand. It's a 2-point game. And Pat Kelsey wants to slow the momentum as Virginia has clawed back in.
We're not used to seeing this all that often, Pat, but Virginia, the team that's often running in a fast break, and who finishes? Elijah Saunders. Up, and away. Virginia, is this a mini run? Sure seems like it.
Like they had on Tuesday against NC State when they erased a 10-point halftime deficit.
7 for 13 from 3 in that second half. When it rains, it pours. It's just a matter of if you can get a couple of sprinkles before everything starts going. But really nice performance for Virginia. Finally starting to put some things together under Ron Sanchez. Down 14. That means you have to hit shots. And this is a Virginia team throughout the past bunch of years that hasn't been great at playing from behind. That's certainly encouraging if you're a Cavaliers fan.
Elijah Saunders, a career-high 22 points in that win on New Year's Eve. 7 straight points for Virginia. That run comes to an end, courtesy of a Reyne Smith three-pointer. Meanwhile, we have a foul underneath the basket. It's against Saunders. The basket counts.
It's going to be
three-pointer
ball.
Counts for Reyne Smith, and the Cardinals will get possession after the shot.
So the shot goes off, knockdown, foul called after the shot on Elijah Saunders, who now gets an earful from Ron Sanchez. That's a big possession. Virginia's making their way back into this game, playing well. That could be 6 points right there.
It's not. He comes up short, but he chases down his own rebound. Third attempt on this possession. That one's also no good. Waterman battling inside, and he goes over the back. Good box out inside by TJ Power.
Pat Kelsey thinking Noah Waterman had possession before the contact, looking for an explanation.
He had the size advantage.
John Gaffney not going to give him one.
Gaffney let a lot go. As play continued, he finally blew the whistle. So Waterman to the bench.
It has been really physical inside about 10 to 12 feet. Of course, it's had to be because there hasn't been a ton of made shots up until the last 2-3 minutes.
Here's Power. Passes on the open look. McNeely trying to get free. Two shooters matched up here. Power from the left wing comes up short. Robinson chases down the long rebound in the corner. Anthony Robinson just checked in for the first time. Down the lane, Buchanan's shot is no good. Hit the back of the rim. Hepburn trying to spin away from trouble, and he was fouled by Power.
And if you're Buchanan, you have to finish that, right? You get up an offensive rebound, got to find that shot. Louisville playing really well and getting all those extra back home. And he always talked about this was the next step in his basketball journey, if you will, coming back to coach. And I think it's pretty cool, but watch your head.
Look at the drawn-up play out of the timeout. Another slam dunk for James Scott. He's got 4. Louisville back to a 7-point lead.
No, but I think it's cool whenever players come back and want to be a part of the program and want to help. Both of those guys have homes here at Virginia, and now moving it on to the next batch of players.
Rohde trying to answer from the far wing in front of the UVA bench. Does so. A 4-point game. Rohde's got 11.
That's the Andrew Rohde that a lot of people in the Summit League became accustomed with.
Hepburn gets a step right to the basket, in and out. Rohde with his head up. Hepburn cuts him off. Ames now joins the party from the backcourt. And we got a whistle away. This one's against Anthony Robinson. Robinson, the 6th turnover for the Cavaliers and his first foul. So Virginia had a chance to cut the lead to 2 or 1, needing another stop here. Still plenty of time in the second half. Ames runs with Hepburn. Smith gets free, too strong. Another offensive rebound. Edwards skies, looking for his shot. Rohde cuts him off. Now Edwards wants to go to work. Jump stop, finds the cutter. Hepburn reverse layup, no, but he drew the foul.
But how about the pass from Terrence Edwards? It reestablishes himself in the post, backs in, good cut from Chucky Hepburn. Nearly a phenomenal finish.
It's already the 6th foul against UVA. Plenty
It's
of
been
time
more physical. It's been much more physical in this second half. And as the game slows down, there's going to be more so.
Second foul against Dede Ames. Robinson getting a lot of playing time here in the second half, and we've got a whistle away from the ball underneath. And again, we're going the other way. McNeely found his way on the floor. Aboubacar Traore with the foul.
Traore, incredible job in the first half, injecting some energy, doing some of the other things, especially on the defensive end. Kind of what he brings to the table, though, those extra toughness plays.
Here's Virginia, down by 4. They've only led for 22 seconds in this game. McNeely along the baseline, cut off by Traore. Trying to free himself up for a look. Robinson, lob pass deflected. Kofi stays with it. Shot clock at 1. Kofi doesn't hit the rim. Play continues, and now they recognize it's a violation.
I want to point this out right now. Reyne Smith gets stuck on a switch and battles his backside off to make the pass difficult. And because the pass is difficult and thrown high, James Scott realizes that he can come down and help at the end of the shot clock. When you're a smaller guard and you have to switch off like that, just maintain your verticality and your physicality when switched off on a bigger player.
Hepburn turning the corner, finds the cutter. Aboubacar Traore with 11 off the bench.
My goodness, how good is Chucky Hepburn? Goes baseline, helps a second late, terrific pass. Traore, just academic at that point.
Traore gets off the ground in a hurry. Neely trying to get free, catch, shoot, off the mark. And Scott able to save the rebound. Here's Hepburn again. A hop in his step. Louisville by 6. Hepburn just working on Ames inside the paint. Finds the cutter again 2 times in a row. Traore just making his way to the basket.
It's amazing what's happening with Traore's man, and it's Kofi, a freshman. Whenever the ball's picked up, he's turning his head, and Traore's cutting right off his backside. Done a really nice job.
Largest lead of the afternoon so far for Louisville, an 8-point advantage. Why sometimes just to run to the basket.
Yeah, a little 45 cut. Kofi coming over a little bit on help, and that's not his help position. That's not Kofi, excuse me. That's Anthony Robinson. He gets over there on help side. That's not his help. It's the other guy in the far corner. He's supposed to drop. You got to know where your guy is, but Traore knows you're on that opposite 45. As soon as you see the back of your defender's head, you cut to the rim, and your players will find you.
Rohde gets a look after the defender fell down. He rushed it. Traore grabs the rebound. Quickly the other way. Hadley looking for some opening. Smith coming off a curl. His pass deflected. Saunders steps up. Numbers for Virginia. Rohde to the basket. Switches to the left hand and is fouled by Reyne Smith.
I thought Reyne Smith got back in front and played his verticality pretty well, but regardless, can't turn over the basketball. This was a nice play by Andrew Rohde, who's quietly putting himself together a nice ball game. 11 points, 4 boards, 3 assists. Ron Sanchez said he's our smartest player. So he's being forced into a point guard position, more natural scorer to begin with, but had success at the point.
And he still has to score, as he does here. First free throw good. Here's next Saturday's ACC Network basketball tripleheader. Clemson hosts Florida State at Littlejohn to start us off at 2 Eastern. Then North Carolina and NC State square off in Raleigh. And finally, Virginia Tech takes on Cal. Should be a great afternoon and a great evening of hoops on ACC Network.
North Carolina and NC State. You want to talk about fast basketball? Both teams love to get up and down. Mark your calendar.
High octane there. NC State was slowed down here on New Year's Eve against these Cavaliers, but they trail now 45-39 after Rohde pulls them closer. Kofi inside. Traore stays with it. Shot clock did reset to 20. Traore along the baseline, goes to the reverse and is fouled.
Louisville fans have been waiting to see what Traore is. This is what Aboubacar Traore is. All hustle, cutting to the rim, those other things, the offensive glass and continually attacking. Look at this. Offensive rebound, toughest guy, quickest man to the ball, gets out, sees that he can take Kofi off the bounce. And while it's not the prettiest thing, he's always putting pressure on whoever he's matched up with.
Traore's first is good. This is his 3rd game back. He returned last Saturday against Eastern Kentucky after he had missed 10 games with a broken left arm. It's a Louisville team that has been besieged by injuries this season. They've already lost Corin Johnson for the season. They've already lost Cason Pryor for the season.
And Cason Pryor was arguably their best player, 6'10", could score it, put it on the deck, kind of a wing forward kind of player. That one really hurt, and that, and taking into account that they had 2 players coming into the season they knew were going to redshirt, with Ali Khalifa transfer from BYU among those.
Kobe Rogers the other.
Terrific defensive player who followed Pat from Charleston.
As did a couple of other Louisville Cardinals. Here's Saunders from the top, quick release. Hadley with his head up. Drives right at Murray, keeps going, off-balance shot, but Waterman grabs another offensive rebound. Out to Traore, kicks it outside. Edwards faking the pass and deflected into the Louisville bench.
Just keep going and grabbing the offensive glass, and Louisville has done that at a high level. 12 offensive rebounds. Virginia, 14 defensive rebounds. That's not a recipe for success. Louisville, even though they're not shooting the ball all that well, still finding extra opportunities around the bucket.
So far today, when Louisville misses, there is almost a 50-50 chance that they will grab the rebound. Nearly a turnover out of the timeout. Hepburn lets fly from deep. Another chance at an offensive rebound will not come as Waterman threw Murray to the ground.
But still, the same thing applies. Take a long 3 towards the end of the shot clock. And not only that, and this is a small thing, Pat, but when they attack the offensive glass from the wings, if they're in the corner of the wings, they go through the foul line and they go on the top side of the guy boxing them out. And the reason being is you're eliminating any transition offense for the opposing team if they don't get the offensive if they don't get the offensive rebound.
Noah Waterman just picked up his 4th personal foul, so he goes back to the Louisville bench. The Cardinals have cooled off significantly from 3 also. They've missed their last 5. But here they are with an 8-point lead. Ishan Sharma back in the game. Out of the high post, Saunders along the wing, driving. Murray can't hit the first one, stays with it, blocked against the backboard by Hadley. And Sharma finally gets free for the floater.
But even so, a nice shot by Sharma, good. But Tane Murray's wide open. That's a shot you have to take.
Instead, he put it on the floor. Virginia on the offensive glass that time. Hepburn off balance. Traore trying to save it. And he cannot.
Good effort. Crowd here at Virginia starting to get a little bit more juice, a little bit more energy. And let's be honest, too, the first shot defense for Virginia has been pretty good. They just haven't been able to finish possessions.
Louisville is not shooting a high percentage today. Good crowd here at John Paul Jones Arena, too. Students still on break. Nearly a full house, if not completely full.
And they're begging to bring energy. You can just feel it at this point.
Backdoor cut, McNeely, bottled up by 2 defenders, kicks it back out, Kofi, puts it on the floor to the basket. That left hand is no good. Traore skies for the rebound.
Defense from Javon Hadley.
Crossover dribble, Hepburn doesn't even go to the left hand. Slick finish inside.
Just tough. Always probing the defense, continuously attacking. And he gets a tough matchup. I mean, he's the Energizer Bunny.
He's got 8, scored 26 when they beat Carolina on Wednesday. Under 10 minutes to play second half. That lead back up to 8. Now Saunders going to work. Kofi was cutting, didn't get there. Numbers, Louisville. Edwards out in front of the pack. Smith leaves it off Hepburn. Down the lane, another cutter. Hadley can't finish, neither can Traore. UVA catches a break there. Can they capitalize? McNeely's got a couple of logo threes already today. Around the Kofi screen, gets some daylight, can't finish. Saunders trying to corral it, and here comes Edwards. Hepburn always looking to make something happen. Finds the cutter in the corner. Smith got wide open. He's not going to miss too many of those.
Come on, I mean, you look at Chucky Hepburn, drives right, he's cut off, quick spin, continues to attack. And then Reyne Smith understands, if I just get the spots, Chucky Hepburn's so good, he's going to put it on the money. He relocates from the 45 to the corner, gets there in a hurry, catches it in rhythm, forget about it.
Reyne Smith has a dozen. This is the largest lead of the game. Saunders again. This has been an entertaining matchup in the second half. Saunders, Traore, tough shot by Elijah Saunders.
Really nice move. Saunders using his strength to create just enough space.
He's into double figures with 10, 5th straight game. In double figures for Elijah Saunders. Under 8 to play. UVA's got to start getting some stops. Sharma working against Hepburn, backing his way in. Hepburn, tough fall away from the foul line. The rebound bounces to Murray.
It might be the first tough look they've taken over the past 2.5, 3 minutes. Ball just kind of stuck. It looks like Hepburn a little bit fatigued right now.
We'll have a timeout at the next whistle. Saunders gets free along the baseline, no hesitation. That's a really good shot for him.
Yeah, for him, going over his right shoulder, that spin move, tough to defend, and that's a shot that he relies on when times are hard.
The crowd trying to implore Virginia back into this game. And Pat Kelsey, sensing his team needs a little bit of a break, calls timeout.
Yeah, Chucky Hepburn, he needs a break too. Little shimmy, little shake, a little right hand finish. Up and under, that's a big time move. And then 2 possessions later, he says, in the early going of the season, 4-time ACC Rookie of the Week. And I think I want to throw in a couple of Player of the Weeks as well. I mean, supremely talented is Cooper Flagg, and that whole team, quite frankly, is supremely talented.
And he just turned 18 years old a couple of weeks ago as Reyne Smith knocks down another one out of the timeout. Louisville back up by 10.
It's the second time they've run that play coming out of a timeout. Last time, I want to say it was in the under 12. They ran it to the other side of the floor, and it came over and hit in the exact same spot.
It's his 5th three-pointer. Tied for 6th in the nation in made threes coming into today with 48. Saunders gets free from the top. That comes up short. Edwards chases down the rebound. We're less than 6.5 to play. Edwards with a hop. Can't finish. Taken by Buchanan. Cooper Flagg, by the way, 24 points, 11 rebounds today as Duke beat a good SMU team on the road, 89-62. And we're going the other way. That's an illegal screen against Blake Buchanan.
What'd you say the points and the rebounds were?
24-11.
Is that good?
It's okay.
Seems decent.
For a 17-year-old, for an 18-year-old, for somebody of any age.
Be really good at 36 years old. But you see Terrence Edwards driving baseline drive, and what happens is the defense sinks in, and a lot of times people turn their heads. Nice in screen for Reyne Smith to come around to the 45, and like we've said time and time again today, doesn't need much time or much space.
That was the third foul against Blake Buchanan on the offensive end. Javon Hadley, straight line drive right at Saunders and finishes off the glass. 6 points for Hadley, 50-year man out of St. Paul, Minnesota, transfer from Colorado.
He's a modern-day utility player. Quality defender, switchable defender, can guard 1 through 4, sometimes 5. It's a really nice player. They love this baseline spin.
Well, it's working for now as McNeely knocks it down from the baseline, giving him 13. Back to a 10-point Louisville lead as Louisville looks for its 10th win of the season. Smith with those 5 3-pointers already. Crowd wanted to travel. Matt Potter right there shakes his head no. Hadley will try a 3 and knocks it down.
Big-time shot. Talk about his versatility. The thing that I'm most impressed with Hadley about is just his general basketball IQ. Understands the next right play. I mean, just so versatile on the floor with what he can do.
27% on threes this season. Looked very comfortable there. Now they're trying the other baseline. Andrew Rohde had a big first half. Quiet here in the second. Buchanan trying to go to work. Saunders cutting, knocked out of his hands. Saved. Shot clock at 2. Saunders fakes, has to fire. And there's Edwards. Louisville not slowing the pace. Hadley right to the basket, bobbled up by Sharma, and a foul against the freshman, Ishan Sharma from Milton, Ontario.
And I thought Sharma did a nice job staying in front. His problem was they attacked his chest and he wrapped around. If he stays vertical, that's a terrific defensive possession. And here's the problem, too. Your offense is struggling if you're Virginia. You're not knocking down shots, and you're forced late into the clock. And what ends up happening is Louisville can get out and run and play with pace. And when they get moving and there's a lot of body movement away from the ball, that veteran presence and the veteran team so good at finding the open guy.
ACC PM with Mark Packer and Taylor Tannenbaum weekdays at 4 Eastern right here on ACCN and the ESPN app. One more for Javon Hadley, a 76% free throw shooter.
Love Mark Packer.
Lots of love.
Of course.
14-point lead. This is the largest of the afternoon, and they add to it here.
It's
11
just
points for Hadley, excuse me.
I'm sorry, Pat. It's been the consistency for Louisville, right? Like, even when shots haven't been falling, their approach has been the same the entirety of this game. They're playing quality defense. They're finding looks. In the first half, they didn't make them. But now things are all starting to click together because they are always there.
Rohde to the basket. How much of that is what they've done on the boards today?
I mean, it's finishing possessions. And the thing is, everybody knows when you play Virginia, you're guarding for 30 seconds. It's maintaining your discipline for 30 seconds. That's a whole nother conversation. And Louisville has been really good at that today.
Virginia's built a whole era of top-notch basketball on that premise. A steal in the corner here by Rohde. Kofi calling for the ball, sets the screen instead, pops out. He'll let fire straight on 3 for the freshman. Another rebound, all red shirts on the glass.
And Virginia, not an offensive rebounding team by nature. They like to retreat, get back on defense, but I mean, the glass has been completely controlled by Louisville.
39-25, 13-6 on the offensive boards. Cardinals closing strong. They're on a 10-2 run, pulling away late. Hepburn around the defender, slip pass inside. Scott couldn't handle, but still finishes with 2.
Look what I found. How about the ball movement? Changing sides of the floor. The next best play.
Charlottesville, impressive performance this afternoon by Louisville. That's what's coming up, 6 o'clock Eastern on the ACC network. Syracuse, Florida State. Louisville just over 2.5 minutes away from picking up win number 10 on the season.
And Donnie Freeman for Syracuse. This is a conference that has a lot of really talented freshmen. He's one of them. Good shot by Rohde.
Wide open from the corner, gets that to go.
Donnie Freeman, though, I mean, 6'9", versatile, inside-out type of forward, long arms. Syracuse has a really talented young freshman there.
It's a season-high 16 points for Andrew Rohde on that make. Hepburn running some clock here. Shot clock is under 10. Gets it back from Hadley. Now Hepburn goes to work inside the paint, falling to the floor. And a whistle.
I'm not meaning to be. We're hearing a lot of boos right now. And I understand why. They thought Murray had position. Murray has gotten away with a lot today. And to say the least, he has been physical, bordering on rugby style. He doesn't play for the All Blacks. He plays for the Tall Blacks.
He does, yes.
The New Zealand national team, but he's played today like he plays for the All Blacks because it's been physical. He's been mismatched some with some of the bigger players from Louisville. He gets called for that one, but I think that's a nice trade-off considering the fact that he has been so physical over the course of the game.
We were both impressed with the nickname of his basketball team when we found it out.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with you, partner, for working it into the broadcast. And you got it in just under the wire. Well done.
It took me 38 minutes and a second.
Not a moment too soon.
That's right.
Back to a 16-point lead for Louisville.
Hey, you know what? This Louisville team, just kind of big picture here. This Louisville team played really well, battle for Atlantis. They've been crushed with injuries, and yet here we are in January. Pat Kelsey, his team, continuing to compete, play well.
Edwards to the basket, splitting two defenders, and draws the foul.
Just get a big win at home over North Carolina, come to Virginia. Barring anything insane, getting a win here. Don't be surprised if this Cardinals team, come the end of February, is at the top of the league. And they have the pieces. They play well together. They're unselfish. They're older. Sometimes it takes a little bit of a readjustment. I mean, Aboubacar Traore coming back to this team today has changed the dynamic of what they have off the bench. Because there were times over the last month they would go to the bench and you didn't really get that spark of energy. Today, he's been awesome for Pat Kelsey and company because just his impact goes so far beyond just scoring.
With all those injuries, Louisville spent about a month playing with a 7-man rotation. Now, Traore is back. This is his third game back, but as you said, he's back today. He has announced himself as back, so clearly he makes it an 8-man rotation at least.
Well, just to continue to talk about Traore, now he's picking up Day-Day Ames in the full court, guarding a point guard. His responsibility has been Elijah Saunders the entire game. So, I mean, just impressed with his effort level. Impressed with his impact. A lot of guys talk about winning things. Well, what are winning things? It's extra effort. It's cutting away from the ball. It's being a tough screener. He does all of those things, and he just adds another element to this Louisville team.
Impressed with his athleticism also because that's off the charts. Traore is blocked. Robinson coming from the weak side to send it out of bounds with 7 seconds on the shot clock. As Pat Kelsey goes to his bench, under a minute to play. This is also going to be, for Louisville, their first win in Charlottesville since February 17th, 1990. And only their second win here. UVA had won 18 of the last 19 games coming into this one. Off the dribble, giving Louisville 70 points, and they are just the second team to score 70 points at JPJ in the last 63 games, and they got there emphatically.
We don't talk about Kenai Ruths. Talk about talented freshmen. He's one of them. He's just stuck behind a whole bunch of older guys. You see the kind of athleticism he has.
Pitt was the other. They scored 74 on February 13th of last season. 4 players in double figures for Louisville.
How about the company man? Patrick Antonelli coming up and grabbing the basketball just to make sure that Ruth doesn't get the turnover. That's a company man. That's Deb's kid.
Yep.
That's Debbie's kid right there. He understands.
He knows the game.
He's going to be a coach. Great young man. And a great win